Hey there, Citizen Pally here, and welcome back. It's time for another ship overview, and today we're taking a look at this big girl, the Aegis Reclaimer. So this is the large salvage ship. I think this is the largest we know of for now, and as you can tell, she's quite big. We are on the 00 pad here at Olisar. This is one of this is the biggest pad at Olisar, and she takes up the vast majority of it. Until the Idris, I think this is the largest ship. This is bigger than a Hammerhead. It's bigger than a Starfare. Let's see what other really big ones are in there. It's way, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is by far the biggest ship currently, not by far, but it's bigger than the Hammerhead by a significant amount. The whole claim to fame for this ship is basically this thing right here, this front claw. So this claw, you can see here, it's kind of on a hydraulic system, and the prospect of what it's supposed to do eventually is it's going to extend out, grab a hold of a ship carcass, and tear it apart, and then I think basically it feeds everything it's tearing apart, get pulled into the center and get processed. There's also some tractor beams that are used to kind of channel things where they need to go. And then through the center of it is a processing and then a whole bunch of storage in the back end of the ship. She has a fair bit of turrets on her, though she is not a combat ship. You can actually see, like, right there's a turret. Right there is, I think that's the tractor beam control turret. So those guys hanging down the bottom there are for the tractor beams. You'll see them here in a little bit. The remote turrets for the tractor beam. Remote turret on the side. There's a man turret on the top. There's a remote turret in the back. Well, there's actually like 3 remote turrets in the back, maybe 4. Depending on how you look at it. We come back here. There's a remote turret right behind the back gear, but they're all pretty small. They're just self-defense turrets. Now, the thing with this ship is it's designed for mass salvage, as you would expect for something like this. What it means is, like, if you're taking apart a ship and maybe the ship has a super high-end cooler or a special gun or something that's worth a whole lot, you're not going to get that via this ship. What this ship's going to do is just going to tear that thing down into the core metals, and you're going to be collecting scrap by the SCU rather than little individual components. To get into this ship, well, we're probably not going to be able to do it from here. There is a lift right... Oh, holy crap, it worked. I've never been able to get that thing to work. Is it coming down? It is working! Yay! So that is how you're supposed to get into this ship. Normally, I can't ever get it to interact. It's like the height is always wrong. You're too far up. Oh, give me a break here. Come on, game. Can I get on? No. All right. So normally you can't call it down, and apparently when you can call it down, it doesn't go down far enough. So let's go to the back where I normally get in. There's a primary elevator that's used for loading supplies for use. So, you know, food or whatever. Oh, someone's scanning. It's also used for then unloading all the scrap you get. So there's a large cargo elevator in the back here that will come down. Don't get any sounds from the elevators right now. Maybe they're too far up. Don't you stop up there too. You gotta be shitting me. Look how the landing gear are on the pads. What's wrong with you, ship? Let me respawn it and see if we can get in. Okay. So we've made it in. I ended up actually going through, if you look kind of right in the center of the screen there on the upper level above that back landing strut, I actually ended up going out because I kept spawning it and it kept falling off the landing pad. That was what was happening. The gear was up too high because it was off the landing pad. So I ended up climbing, or EVAing out and climbing in that. We'll put that footage in there. You can see. Actually, let's go ahead. We'll retract the landing gear here. Let it up. I do like the landing gear retraction. That's pretty cool. It's an impressive ship. So let me be very clear. I'm not going to be an expert on the ship. I'm not an expert on any ship with all the nonsense I say. That's pretty obvious. But this ship definitely, I don't really care about salvage. If salvage ends up being super profitable, I'm not going to buy one of these, at least not like this, not cash. But what I'll do is I'll pick one up in game maybe, but only if it's so unbelievably super salvage or super viable that you just have to have one in order to be competitive within the game. The idea of just finding ship carcasses and tearing it apart doesn't really do anything for me. I like that it's in game. It definitely needs to be there. But, you know, within EVE Online, okay, that's the game entirely is played through menus. So another menu of just doing salvage, that's not a big deal. This game, it's far more personal, far more interactive, so I don't want to be doing that. We'll just go ahead and we'll go third person here again. We'll take a quick look around the ship. So there you can see Cockpit is that little bulb right there. We have that turret directly to the side of us. We do have, let's see, if I go up high enough, maybe we can fire. We're still within the armistice zone. You can see the arms sticking down, the legs. There's that top rear defensive automated turret. She's big. She's mean. She doesn't say Aegis to me. When I think of Aegis, I think of the Vanguard, the Retaliator, the Saber, the Gladius. All of them are relatively sleek ships. This thing's not. The Hammerhead sort of starts to go this way. I guess it's kind of a middle one between this. But if I was going to describe what would be an Aegis salvage ship, this is not it. This to me says Drake, which is fine. I love Drake ships. I like the utilitarianism of Drakes, but to me this is not a Aegis ship. It's perfectly fine. I'm just nitpicking here. Cockpit, for what it is perfectly acceptable. You know, relatively unobstructed field of view. Things it does what it needs to do. We'll go ahead and we're going to turn the engines off just so we don't float too far. And we'll go ahead and we'll get out. I'm a little on a short schedule here. We lose the ship in about 30 minutes. I also have to go idle and do some work and everything, so we don't have a huge amount of time. But there you go, pilot, co-pilot in the very front bubble. As we come on back here, here are those tractor beam seats I was talking about. So I think these are using those smaller bottom turrets to the left that don't actually have anything on them. There's no reason to get in these right now. They don't do anything. This screen is just nonsense. It's just the standard shield power distribution screen would bring that up. There's nothing you can actually do in there. But there's two tractor beam slots. Those are going to be used to bring contents into the processing area. As we come to the back here, we have two scanning terminals. So a scanning terminal on, say, the 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock, and then the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock are, you can activate and run some of the remote turrets. So we'll click in there. And it seems like each has access to 3 of the remote turrets. You can see down in the bottom. Oh, is it going to let me do it? Come on. You can see one of the remote turrets there. So we're in one of the turrets. There's 2 additional ones. You can kind of see one of them. It's like we're too close. Let's exit out of there. Let's try the other side. Ship's being very finicky with me today. Can we see? No, we can still, there's 3 remote turrets, and they seem to be different for each one of them from what I could tell in the testing. Yep. Here is something that I don't know. They kind of seem like escape pods. I'm guessing that's what they're supposed to be. There's more escape pods up above, but there's only 2 of them. So you have pilot, co-pilot, 2 tractor beam seats, 4 stations here, but possibly only 2 escape pods, unless like these drop and then 2 more escape pods come in and then they drop or something. I don't know. There's an elevator here. This takes us up. So the operation center, I would say, is kind of on 2 decks. You have the lower deck, which we're on right here. Back here, you can see the grinding area. There's another engineering terminal right here that would open up, and this would be used for feeding the grinding. So the front claw breaks things up. The tractor beams feed it in, drops in here, gets ground down into the core components, or it gets moved towards the back of the ship to be stored. So like I was saying, this is kind of the lower deck. There is a ladder up right here. This is that lift that we were fighting with before. I just sent it down actually, rather than called it. So this was that lift I was originally trying to get into at the very beginning that I said I could never get into. This will take us up to the same level as that elevator deck. Let's just call the elevator so it's not deployed down. We'll come over here. We'll take this elevator up simply because I don't like ladders. It's not that I have a problem with ladders. I have a problem with ladders in Star Citizen and how the game doesn't let me get off of them reliably. Bring this up. As we get to the top here, we'll come around, we'll hit this area on the right here in a moment, but if we come back around here, here's where that ladder comes up. Here is, I'm thinking this is the shield generator. This might be the reactor, one of those, but right there is that. There's no terminal to interact with it right now, probably ever. If we go up this ladder here, it's just going to take us up to the manned upper turret. So this is the big turret. It's the one that would maybe actually do some work compared to the other ones. If we can actually get through it. Yay, ladders. And it's very, again, to me, this doesn't say, come on, game. I didn't touch the mouse. Just work with me. Be nice. We can get along. But right there's a turret. And that's what I'm saying. This doesn't say Aegis, but we hit this. It's a cylinder that's supposed to open up. We get inside the cylinder, and then we will end up in the top turret. It's rotating us up in. There we go. Press F4. And you can see we are kind of in this turret up here right above the nose. Can we see ourselves in there? Yeah, you can see my little body. Pretty small inside that thing. It's a big turret overall. Not sure what size guns are on it. I don't really care. It's not a combat ship. So it seems tanky. You could probably turn this thing into one hell of a tank. You're not going to do a whole lot of offensive power, but like say you need to break a blockade, this thing should be able to take a massive amount of punishment. Run a blockade, not a break it, but just run a blockade. You know, seems like this thing would maybe be able to take quite a bit of a pounding. Okay, we'll come back down here. So that's what's all that way. As we come through here, here's another one of the neat features that this ship has, and it's going to have 2 remote drones that can be operated. So these are the drone operator seats. There's nothing they can do right now. But then in here would be where the drones are actually located. So I imagine there's going to be like a drone inside here, a drone inside there. This is like their repair center, and I think they're supposed to go out the top there. So that'll open up, the drones will deploy out, and that'll either be for bringing cargo or bringing like parts of whatever you're trying to salvage in, or maybe directing it towards, or you can maybe use those to like actually go inside. I was talking about earlier how, you know, if there's a rare gun or ship component, you can't get that. Well, maybe you can use those drones to remotely go out and get those components. Come on back through here. There's just a little window in through that. Feels like there should be windows to the exterior here. Back here is the escape pod area I was talking about. So again, 3 escape pods. And yeah, so this is labeled escape pods, isn't it? Yeah, escape pods. So there's 3 here, 2 down below. Again, I'm guessing maybe these cycle and there's actually like 6 here and 4 down below. Still doesn't quite make sense for how many crew members there are, but it's fine. Exact opposite, rather than more escape pods, is a little like computer server room. I'm sure at some point you'll have electrical failures you need to fix in there. As we come back up here into this area right here, this is going to be the beginning of the crew area. So you have like a little mess area, dining hall area, very alien-esque. So like the what was that ship? Prometheus? No, that's the movie. Whatever the ship was in the first Alien, this feels like that little dining area that they were in at the beginning of that movie and later on in the movie. In here is a docking collar, so the top docking collar. Sure. It's kind of a big, feels like somewhat wasted space for that docking collar. And that's going to be a theme I find with this ship. There seems to be a lot of wasted space for what could be. As we come back through here, on the left is the captain quarters. So again, a large little entryway here. And I can understand giving him like a little office area or whatever to talk to people and everything. It just seems kind of big. You have 2 lockers, fairly large lockers. Back here is his personal quarters, so his bed, and he does get his own private shower, bathroom here, another little closet for storage. On the other side is the crew quarters. So in here there's bunks for 4. There are some working lockers here. Some more working lockers up here you can go ahead and open up. You can open them by working. Yep, so there's the beds. And then over here is the bathroom, so 2 sinks. But 4 showers. Again, wasted space. This close confined area, I can understand you got sleep area for 4 people. So 2 showers maybe. Just seems like 4 showers. I'm not trying to nitpick. It just seems a little odd for how large this bathroom is. There would be something too much. You would either add in 2 additional bunks and do with 2 showers or something. Just a lot of wasted space. As we move to the back here, this is actually the airlock I came in. Door didn't close. It's fine. There's a sister airlock on the other side. There's a ladder down here, which is going to take us down to the other engineering area, which is either the reactor or the shield generator. I think the other one was the shield generator, and this one, come on. All right, don't touch the mouse. Don't touch the mouse. Just strafe left. There we go. Down here is, I think this is the reactor, if I had to guess. So it looks kind of like a nuclear reactor engineering station. not a lot going on down here we can do. I'm sure there'll be some like repairs you can do behind some of these panels at some point. Then go back up on the other side. No real issues with that down there, and I don't have any issues with any of this. It's not a ship that I'm invested in or anything. Then back here is that main elevator. So this is the elevator I was trying to use before, but the ship kept flying off the ground. So here is the elevator. Now this elevator does run all the way through the ship, and we will use it to exit the ship at the end. So we'll start at the top and we'll work our way through, which is only going to take us up to right there. Feels like there should be like a ladder also, that like a cutout here with a ladder that runs the whole deck. What happens if the power's down and you got to get up and down this stuff? You need a ladder there. So yeah, here we go. This is the upper deck. So this is just more of an overlook. It looks like they want you to like use these hoists maybe to move some things around. So the main salvage is going to be getting dumped in here somehow. And will probably come in like SCU boxes that you can then use and drop them down the back for additional storage. Not a whole lot here. Go ahead and we'll run towards back over here. Hopefully the elevator didn't leave. Good. I don't know why it would leave, but I've had it leave in the past. So that is that. We want to skip habitation and go to salvage processing. This is going to be like that little deck right down there, or the main deck. So we come down. So there's habitation, and there's salvage processing. Yep, so this area here is going to be where most of your salvage is kept. And, you know, right up there is where we were. I don't know exactly how the salvage is supposed to get in here, if it's going to be somewhat magical. In the back here, there's a drop-down point. We'll see that here in a brief second. It kind of seems like this area here is supposed to open up for maintenance of some sort or something. This thing's going to need some SCVs. Yes, I'm using a StarCraft SCV reference there. But that feels like what this thing is going to need in order to move all these SCUs around. Maybe that's what the power armor, I forgot about the power armor, which I guess is sort of an SCV of type thing. We'll go down a little bit further. So now we're underneath that other deck, so we have that back area where you could push things down. Again, a little bit of wasted space. It almost feels like this whole floor above us shouldn't exist, and this should just be one larger area. Maybe it's more because of the shape of the ship, how it's kind of got a hexagon shape on the back end here, at least the bottom of a hexagon. So it's cutting in, so that way you have more floor space up there, but you could also drop some cargo down here in order to be stored. Salvage down here. This is all salvage side of things. There's also, like, kind of looks like decks here that could maybe open up. And then there's one last area to look at. Come on down here, and we will go down to the actual cargo hold. And now this is not going to be for salvage. I'm sure you could move salvage in there maybe with the armor suit or whatever, the mech suit. The battle suit, whatever they're calling it. If this opens up, and in here, now this would be more what I was talking about earlier when you'd bring the cargo up. So in here you'd be your food stores and just things to keep you going out, so you can take this ship out for a longer period. You probably could also bring like a little gray cat buggy, a dragonfly or two onto this lift when it's all the way down and bring it in. Since we are out in space, I'm not going to go all the way down to the exit ship, because then getting back in would be a nightmare. Instead, we'll go back to the habitation deck, we'll take her back, land, and that'll be it. Come on back up here. I don't have any passion for this ship, as you can probably tell from this video. I'm sure it'll serve its role, and it's probably going to be a big money maker. Though you do have to have at least probably a crew of about 4 to correctly operate it. You know, pilot running it, someone on the tractor beam, someone on the drone, and then someone just overseeing the general processing. So take all your profits and split it. Yes, I avoid the ladders if I can. I don't know what happened. I think that came around in 3.3 where the ladders just became very finicky. They don't like getting you on and off. I'm sure it's some type of interaction bug that they will fix at some point. They're just a little too sensitive when you're close to them. Alright, so bring our engines back on. Do we have mouse control? We do. Bring it around. And we'll just go back in, do a land. I do actually want to land this thing because it's kind of cool. The rear struts and the shocks, and it's what was going on with why I couldn't actually do anything. So let's bring her back down here. Come to a stop. F1. Contacts. Portals our landing services.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
So we'll hit F4. Make sure we're out here. We'll deploy them out and watch them extend out like that. Again, very Drake-esque, which is perfectly fine. It just seems odd that it's an Aegis ship. That big Aegis symbol right there just seems out of place. I guess it would need to have more guns and hidden compartments if it was a Drake ship or something. Come on down here. We'll rotate around so we're coming in on it relatively square. Mostly let the automated landing do its thing. Come on. Using so much directional thrusters to rotate us around, we got no forward momentum. There we go. Now we're going forward. We're getting pretty close. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Level out. And automated landing. There we go. Now we'll switch over to third person, and we'll watch these legs compress down as it comes down. And so that was what was going along. You see how it kind of hunches down? Well, what was happening is I was coming out, and it, for some reason, wasn't compressed down. So that's why our elevators were way up in the air rather than down. Go ahead and engine off. Exit. Head to the back, and we'll try this main lift. This lift has always given me problems. We don't want to call elevator. The elevator should already be there. We can just, there we go, get in, and then go down. Go down. Okay. Yay, it worked. Oh boy. Don't kill me. Don't kill me, elevator. I mean, I guess we're basically done. Hey, okay. We got that. There you go. That's how it's supposed to work. Normally it's supposed to be much closer to the ground. We'll also lower down this back lift real quick. Sounds like somebody's shooting. There it comes down. So this would just be that lift that, so right there is the cargo hold, and this would be the exit ship as it comes on down and opens up. So you can see you could definitely get that. You might even be able to fit a, not an Ursa, Cyclone, Tumbril Cyclone on there. Maybe. You'd have to try and turn it sideways, which would probably not work. I think it's too long, but it's you could try. I'm sure someone has tried if you Google it. So there we guys. There you guys go. That is the Aegis Reclaimer. It's certainly big. If that's what you're looking for, it'll probably make a lot of money. It's ugly, but yeah. Till next time, this has been Powler. Thanks for watching.